Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Unconventional Outdoorsman. I've got a quick little video for you all today in case any of you want to go bass fishing while we're all in quarantine here in Missouri, and I guess throughout the country. As you can see, I've got one single tackle box here, and by the title of the video, I guess you're probably assuming what I've got in here. Okay, in this scenario, you've got one tackle box, one of these little Plano tackle things to go take with you bass fishing for a while, however long you want to say, maybe a day, maybe 2 days. So in here I've just got some essentials for the spawn and just something I would carry around here because I live near a lot of small creeks, very small ponds, and a couple lakes here and there. So I'll hold it up for y'all. Over here I've got soft plastics in here. I've got some jigs, hard baits, and a little things of terminal tackle. So I'll go over each and every one of those and why I like to use them. So we'll go over soft plastics first. Here I've got some Zoom Super Salt Plus 6-inch Lizard Green Pumpkin Candy Red. Especially if you're fishing a lot of neighborhood ponds around this part of the state. A lot of small creeks too. If you can flip these on like a small spinning rod like the one I have back there, I'll bring it up here in a minute. Put it on like a 1-aught to 2-aught O'Shaughnessy hook, which is like a worm hook, or an EWG. I prefer not to use an EWG, which is an extra wide gap hook. Just a normal bass worm hook will be fine. I like to use these weightless too, but if you put like a little 1/8 ounce weight on there and flip it up under some trees or into some brush, weedless of course, and you fish it slow and jerk it every once in a while, I've had very good luck and caught a lot of 3-pound plus bass on these. And they're pretty common too. You can pick them up at Walmart or wherever you go. So that's one bait that I would definitely love to carry with me. I've only got a few in there. I've been using it a little bit lately. Bass fishing has been extremely tough this spring or winter. It's only the 4th day of spring. So yeah, I'm just trying to literally find where they're biting. I think I haven't even caught a single bass this year. That's how cold and terrible the fishing has been. Next, I have got a Cabin Creek Bait Company. These are like little craws. They're like more like a watermelon red color. And I'll open them up and show you. Now these, if anybody knows anything about small creeks with crawfish like this is a perfect color. Especially early afternoon, maybe partly cloudy, a little bit of sun. You use this and maybe even like a regular jig head. Where did I put those jig heads? Like something like this even, a small little jig head. If you would have put that on there and fish it even with like 8-pound test in a creek, I can guarantee you're probably going to catch something. It's going to do you well, especially as soon as the spawn ramps up and the fish start moving to shallower water once the water warms up. I mean, I was fishing down closer to Augusta, Missouri yesterday when I was on a camping trip, and the water was really warm there. The problem is, I mean, it's just been so cold. I think today's the last cold day we have for about 2 weeks or so. It's what the weather said, but that can change at any moment. It's literally snowing right now in Missouri, where I'm at least. But yeah, these will do pretty good. Use a little jig head or even like a small little Aberdeen hook and maybe a very tiny like 16 ounce or 1/8 ounce weight will do you extremely well. And of course I have to have the staple of any spawn fisherman. I didn't really know too much about Googan baits until last year. I bought some. I was like, okay, let's see if these work. I caught my PB on this last year in about 3 5-pounders and about 4 4-pounders on this yesterday with jigs and just trailers and just Texas rig alone. This is a Bandito bug by Googan Baits, Okeechobee craw color. Some of my favorite type of baits to use, especially the spawn when it's slow and you just need to fish the bottom or whatever if the fish still aren't moving up, which is really odd. Usually this time last year I was catching fish at 9 p.m. at night. I was really fishing ponds and all kinds of stuff. Remember, late February. I'll see if I can find some pictures on my Instagram. I caught a 5-pound bass on this at 9 p.m. at night. This year this fishing has been terrible. Hopefully it's gonna ramp up here soon when it warms up, and I really hope it'll do better than it has been. But I prefer using like an EWG 3-aught worm hook on that. You know, normal creature bait style stuff, 1/4 ounce weight if you're gonna Texas rig it, something like that. Alright, we're gonna go over some of the terminal tackle. In here I've just got a couple EWGs. This is like an all-purpose worm hook. You can even use this to catfish too, which I have, and caught some nice fish. A few 1/4 ounce bullet weights, stainless steel. I prefer lead, but you know it's not good for the environment, and I don't want you know, to make too much of an imprint. But you know, think about it. After all the lead people put in lakes and rivers from fishing, especially duck hunters too, like the lead shot, which they got rid of that a while back. But you know, I think if it would do anything to the water, it probably already it hasn't. So I mean, I don't really think it has that much of effect. If anybody knows any different, please comment down below. Also, before I go any farther, please subscribe if you haven't. Just subscribe down below and click the notification bell to all notifications. That way you will be notified every time we have an amazing video on this channel, which should be daily now. I was camping for a couple days, so I didn't post, but I'm back now, so I got more content. Something like this, because around this time too, if the bass aren't biting, it's around the crappie spawn white bass, which we have a lot of here in Missouri. It's got a little tiny like micro crankbait. This thing is like not even 2 inches long, and dives down to like I think 2 feet, which especially for like really shallow creeks and ponds does great. This is like a crawfish color, crawfish red, orange bottom. Definitely something good that I like to pack in my tackle box. All right. There's a lot of shad going around some of the places I fish, so I've got a little weird looking, like it's got a weird bill on it. It's more of like it rattles a lot when you go in the water. It's just, I haven't had too much with this bait particularly, but the color is definitely something you want, something that mimics a shad color, or like, you know, dying shad or whatever. This one dives down to like 2 feet also. It's a good creek stuff. I've also got more of like another shad thing, like a fire tiger color, red and some yellow on top. This one dives down to, doesn't say, it says smash shad is the color. I'd assume like probably 2 feet, 2 to 3 feet with that, but nothing too bad. I'll try to keep this video underneath 10 minutes if I can. I've got a bunch of jigs here, anything from a 1/4 ounce jig like this, like almost like a watermelon red color, to a, you know, more of like a PB&J 3/16 ounce. Different jigs are really good. Definitely when you fish slow, more finesse style. Different colors. You always want to have a variation of colors. Don't stick with the same thing, because one day they might be biting on that, the next they might be biting on something totally different. So you definitely want to adjust accordingly. So, also, I've got a jointed swim bait here. It's more of like a little baby bluegill, especially around the spawn, post-spawn. Bass love to munch on this. And it's small enough you can catch like anywhere from like a 2-pound bass all the way up to double digit, which I've never caught a double digit, but I'm sure they'd love to munch on something like that. Very realistic when you reel it in too. Then onto the top water baits. I've got an XPS popper here. Anybody knows anything about the spawn, especially early morning or late in the evening, right as the sun comes up or goes down. Fishing this along like grass beds and stuff, nice and slow. Love to get a good blow up, especially when you're sight fishing. Got some like a bucktail on the end there. Then my favorite probably topwater bait that I've ever used, the River to Sea Whopper Plopper. This is like a ivory color. Anyone who doesn't know how to use this bait or has never used this bait, go out and buy one, because I've caught probably 300 fish, 300 bass on this exact lure. I've only ever purchased one. I've literally had this thing sunken in trees, and I've literally gone down to go get it, because that's how good of a bait it is. You can literally see all the dirt and stuff from this bait. I've had this bait for like 4 or 5 years, and it's never failed me. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and have a great Sunday.